There I am. So 10 years ago, I used to break into banks to make a living. I used to steal anything between $1,000 to $10,000 a week or every 2 weeks. And I was part of a team of 3 people. We were hackers. We had a little office downtown in Tel Aviv in Israel. And we would break into banks and steal their money, and then we cash it, go back to the owners of the bank and tell them, look, we stole your money. And why don't you secure your bank better? Give us a little bit of that and let us secure your bank and help you kind of close everything. So the bad guys wouldn't actually steal your money. And we did it occasionally. And I love this job. I mainly love telling that I do this job in parties because it felt such a cool thing. And my life was so exciting. And deep inside, I always wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be a scientist, but I felt that I would never top that. Like I can never have an exciting life as a scientist as much as I have as a hacker. So it's September 2000, and we have a little job to break into a little bank in Israel, in Tel Aviv. It's a very small bank that has very few branches, and we do a pretty good job. We have 2 weeks to break into it, and after 5 days, we tear it apart. So we can do whatever we want. We can transfer money from one account to the other. We can look at all the information of everyone, and we did our job, and I'm ready to just sign off on this thing and send it to the board of directors. And then Tammy, one of the members of my team, she comes to me and she said, have you seen the job description? And I say, yeah, it's the same one as we always get. And she says, yeah, but did you read it carefully? And she hands me the paper with the job description, and it reads something like the team can try any means of breaking in physical, software, infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. And I say, yeah, what does it mean? And she says, it means we can break into the bank physically, go and rob the bank. Not just computer breaking, but actually go and rob the bank. And we should do that. Now, Tammy, she's 35. She just broke up with her boyfriend after 9 years because she wanted to have a baby and he didn't want to have a baby, so she broke up with him. And she's very unstable, and I know that when she comes and says, let's break into the bank. And I'm the boss, and I say, well, but we don't know how to break into banks. That's not our, we know how to break into banks with computers. We don't know how to actually go and rob a bank. And she says, well, how many times in your life do you get to break into a bank, and if you get caught, it's okay because you just did your job and it's okay, and it's like you're part of the team. And if you fail and if you succeed, you actually broke into a bank. You live only once, let's do it. And she says, please, 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 let's rob the bank, please, please. And I look at her and I start thinking it makes sense. And I say, okay, let's rob the bank. So the weekend starts, and 3 of us are planning how to rob a bank. And we don't know anything about it, and as much as you can think, there's not much about it on the internet at the time. So we couldn't find a book that says breaking into banks for dummies. So we start looking and finding ways, and it turns out we have to come up with a way ourselves. So we plan a very elaborate way to break into a bank. We choose a little branch up in northern Tel Aviv that has only 1 teller, so there's not going to be too much crowd there. And we have one of us, Gal, the younger, that is an insider. He's going to go into the bank first. He's going to have a little camera on his belly, a hidden camera. He's going to film everything. So if something goes wrong, we're going to have footage showing that we didn't do anything bad. And Tammy and me, we're going to go afterwards when he signals us that there's no one else in the bank, so no one's going to pull a gun or something and starts freaking out. And we're going to go and we're going to rob the bank. We're going to take a little bit of money from one of the safe boxes that we picked in advance because we had all information about the bank. We picked the name of a woman whose name resembled Marilyn Monroe. It was Marilyn Moreno, but I felt it's like Marilyn Monroe, and we said we're going to break into Marilyn Monroe's safe. So it's Monday morning, and Gal is inside, and he signals us to come inside, and we come and he starts walking to the teller, and I start having doubts. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you had the chance to rob a bank in your life, but it's really scary. And there's a thing where there's a moment before you say it's a bank robbery where you can still take it back. So you can still walk in and say, oh my God, it's a mistake, and leave, and then it's okay. But once you say it's a bank robbery, you can't, even if you regret it, you still said it, and now you have to do something with and you can't say, sorry, it's a mistake, we're gonna leave. So I'm kind of hesitating, but Tammy, she just broke up with her boyfriend and she doesn't take anything, and she goes and says, it's a bank robbery, we want to go to the safe and open number 10003. And the teller, she's like a 25-year-old girl. She's never seen a customer in this place ever, and she's like studying for the SAT. She puts a marker in the book, she stands up like nonchalant, goes with Tammy to the back room and opens the thing. And now I'm sitting there in the middle, and Gal, his job, he's the youngest, his job was also to use this time to take pictures of the place, because we sometimes find people leaving post-it notes with the password next to the computer, and we can put that in the report. So his job is to take pictures to find more things that we can actually put in the report. So he's doing that, and Tammy is in the back seat with the bank owner, with the teller, trying to kind of open the safe, and I'm sitting there, and I don't remember what I'm supposed to do at the time. Like, I have a few minutes, and I know he has a few times, but now I'm sitting there and I have nothing to do. So I see Gal there, he's like taking pictures, and he's pretty short, and he's finding it hard to take pictures. So I say, I'm going to help him. So I kind of pull my hands together, and I lift him so he can take pictures from a higher place, and then we do that, and the teller comes back, and she sees us, and for her, just a customer and another bank robber, so she doesn't know we're together. So now she's very confused to see me helping him take pictures of the bank robbery. And then she's starting to smile, she's like confused, she goes back and sit in her place, and then Tammy, the other girl, hands me the little box that she took with the money that we thought we were going to take from Marilyn Monroe, which should be a couple of hundreds of dollars. And then I open it, and lo and behold, Marilyn Monroe just broke up with her boyfriend a few days before, and she took all the jewelry and put it in the box. And now I open it, and I see something that looks like $1 million worth of jewelry. And now we have no liability for that. We can't take that. So I call Tammy and I say, look, Tammy, we can't take that. We have to put it back. And she says, what do you mean? We broke the bank, let's leave. I say, no, it's too much money. We can't live with that. We have to put it back. She says, no. And we start fighting there. And the bank teller, she's kind of amused by now. She looks at us and she's like, she's seen better bank robberies before. And she's like smiling. And now Gal, he's 17 years old, and he's just finished school and he's about going to the army in a few months. So he never dated a girl in his life. So he feels it's the chance to hit on the girl, the teller. So he goes to her and starts flirting with her and telling her that he's part of the team and he actually planned everything and it's all in this, start chatting. And I fight with Tammy and I take the box and I say, I'm gonna put it back. So I go to the teller and I tell her, sorry, I'm really sorry to apologize. I just need to take the key and put it back. She's given the key and says, just go yourself. Like, I'm not going anywhere with you anymore. So I'm apologetic. I'm saying, really sorry, just a second. I take the key and I go to the back room to open the safe and put the box back. And I leave everyone behind, and I spend a few minutes doing that, and I come back, and I see that Gal, the kid, is giving his phone number to the teller. Now, we had a long debate beforehand whether we should or should not put ski masks, so no one's going to know us. But if you give the phone number and name to the teller, it's kind of puts everything in perspective. So he gives the phone number to the woman, and then, because it didn't look like a bank robbery, a woman enters the bank with a baby. And she goes in and she starts writing a check because she doesn't feel that anything is weird there. So she's trying to write a check with the baby, and she can't hold the baby. So Tammy, she loves babies. She holds the baby for her while she writes the check. And now the baby starts crying because his mom is writing a check, and Tammy like holds the baby and she loves babies. And she starts singing a lullaby. She says, no me, ya dati. Which is in Hebrew, sleep, sleep, my little child. And it's very peaceful. And suddenly she starts crying because of the fighting with me and the bank robbery and the boyfriend and the baby. She's starting to cry. And then it's like everything is weird, and I realize that bank breaking is not going to work. So I pull Gal in one hand and I pull Tammy in the other hand, and we just run away to my car, and we get into my car and we start driving away in silence. And all this time, Tammy is crying next to me, and I look at the back mirror and I see Gal in the back. He's smiling and he's grinning. He's going to go on a date tomorrow with the teller. So we drive in silence to the office, and then we get to the office. And I start to think about all that's happened and the failed break-in. And I tell myself that this was a pretty good day. It's an exciting day. And I tell myself that in a way, these good days don't come just from like having a job that gives it. It comes from saying yes to things. And I realized that I just need to keep saying yes to things. So I quit my job and sign up for university and apply for Caltech. And since then, I've been there. Thank you.